And welcome to the National Meat Treasure Podcast with your host, Sasha, a.k.a. Ron Burgundy. I don't know if you guys knew this. Anchorman is streaming for free on YouTube. I think I talked about this in an episode before. I've been just kind of watching whatever free movies are on YouTube in the background at work. And the list is very random. This will be my second Will Ferrell movie I'm watching in 2 weeks. The last one was Everything Must Go, which is so trash of a movie in hindsight. It's such like a... Like, it's so fucking... Like, bro, this... I mean, spoiler alert for this 2005 movie, but there's a part in the movie where... So basically the premise of the movie is that Will Ferrell comes home from work after getting fired for being drunk at, like, a work event. And, you know, his wife's got all his shit on the lawn and the lock's changed and she's leaving him. So the premise is that he's kind of just living on his lawn, just trying to like find his way back to himself. But it's so like written by a white man, because the reason he got fired was not because he was drunk. It was because he got drunk and then woke up next to a new intern that he had been flirting with that night. And she claimed it was rape, and he doesn't know if it wasn't because he blacked out. Right. And, you know, he got fired for that. And it's so funny because, first of all, again, spoiler alert, but he, like, ends up befriending some girl who lives across the street who's pregnant, whose, like, husband is, like a traveling salesman or something. So he's, like, never home. And he tells her this story, and she, like, ducks him for a little bit, but then she, I don't know, like, forgives them because they had deep convo. Like, I'm sorry, there's no pregnant bitch who's fucking who's gonna hear, like, yeah, I might have raped somebody and I still be cool with you after that. Yeah, no. And then the funny part was in the movie, and this is how you really tell it's written by a white man. The guy sees his boss later, and Will Ferrell's character sees his boss later, and Will Ferrell's boss admits that, like, oh, this girl actually was lying. She's done this before at other places, and, you know, you would have got your job back, but, you know, you stabbed my tires when you left, so I didn't tell anybody that you were valid. But, like, when does that happen? Like, what girl, like, I'm sorry, like, that narrative of, like, girls going around, like, lying about rape and suing, like, major companies, like, I don't think that's I'm sure it's a thing that happens by probability, but, like, let's be real here. Like, a nigga gets fucking wasted and blacks out, and then, like, so this girl scoped out who was gonna, like, I've blacked out twice in my entire life, and they're both in my early 20s. So, like, you telling me this girl scoped out some 50-year-old man and was like, yeah, that's my kill.
That's the one.
So I'm gonna flirt with this guy in the hopes that he remembers nothing, and then go lie about it later. That just doesn't even seem like a good plan.
Yeah, a lot of holes can be poked in there, you know. And apparently, of course, in the movie, she got caught. So clearly there were some holes that got poked in her story.
Yeah, exactly. And even if, like, that was a person that exists, I'm sure you get away with it 2 times max. You don't get away with it.
Right, mad companies.
Like, you do it twice, and then the third time you get caught. Or maybe you even do it once, and the third time you get caught. Or the second time you get caught. But, like, it's not a... You know,
a pandemic of women.
Yeah, like, it's not like a sea of women doing this. There's more niggas blacking out and sexually assaulting
raping women
than there are women lying about it in corporate, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, introduce yourself. That was a long intro.
Well, it is your boy Thriller from the 3, aka a friend of a up got murdered. I think bad men forgetting it. Better watch who you roll with, cause anyone with them is getting it. AKA Cocha La Rocha, AKA the Louis Vuitton Staten Island Don, AKA Joey from the NMT. So what's on your mind today?
You put your glasses on to do that. It's still in the drill wave. It's been a solid month straight of you doing drill intros. Maybe like 5 weeks.
Yeah, I let it rock for like a couple. And I was like, no, I never said this one. There's another part too. I was gonna say it, I didn't even say it. So, you know,
you wanna get it out now?
No. I'll save it. My
Instagram wave
reel.
My wave's been like Brazilian funk music. So
that's great.
Like Brazilian funk gym techno music, because it's weird. It like definitely shuts your brain off at the gym for sure. Like, it just, like, the boom, 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 boom. Like, it's like Adderall for the gym. I think it's because there's no voices. Nobody's talking really, unless it's like a drop or something. But I just want to give a quick shout out. We're giving a shout out to Brazil. Let me give a shout out to South Carolina and my homegirl Larissa. Now, I just met Larissa today. Love a black woman from infinity to infinity. Because let me tell you what happened to me today, right? So I'm having some issues mentally. And they're my issues. They're issues with a tangible solution, but not a tangible solution that is easy, right? And when you have something where the solution is tangible but not easy, you need to talk through it. You need to talk through every step to get to this solution. And who do you talk to? You don't talk to your girl. You don't talk to your boys. You don't talk to a fucking podcast for sure. Definitely don't talk to a podcast. But you talk to a therapist, right? And, my job offers this service where you can get a free counseling. So basically the way it works, or the way I was told, was that you go through this service, you talk to a therapist, not a counselor. You talk to a fucking therapist for the free for the one time. They, based on your situation, say, all right, well, this is the kind of counseling you need with this certified special person. It may cost this, it may cost nothing, who knows? But you get that initial one for free. Now, I think it was called, it was through First Choice Health, I want to say. It was through my job, so it might be not be my job. But first of all, couple of fucking things. Number one, the woman in customer service was black as fuck. We were chatting it up. She was not even a counselor. I just had some shit on my chest and I had to get it off, right? And it was so funny because you don't want to get it off to the customer service, John. No. Like, you want to get off to a counselor. But even getting it off, and this is why I tell people, I do think therapy is like a luxury. Obviously, everybody can't afford it. Everybody doesn't have time for it. Most people's problem is money, and money is time. But sometimes this is what you gotta do. What you gotta do, right? So I remember, I don't like the idea of counselor, right? I've called the suicide hotline many years ago. And this nigga was so fucking dumb on the phone that it talked me off the ledge. I was like, this nigga is so stupid that I can't be that bad that I need to die right now. Like, this nigga is dumb as shit.
What a strategy.
Yeah, so, it worked. So I'm still here. This is 6 years ago. But I remember I had made an appointment with this service for a different issue a few months ago, and I ended up flaking on the appointment. And I'm like, well, you know what? I tried to get in with a therapist a couple of weeks ago for a similar issue to the one I'm having now. They were 2 weeks out, and I remember they were only available from 8 to 5. So I had to make my appointment for 12, and then the appointment I got was 2 weeks out, and it wasn't even through my health insurance. It was through one of those websites like ZocDoc or something like that. And I just remember I made the appointment for noon on a day that I worked. And I remember just thinking about how anxious I would be. Because my job is an email job, right? It's not, okay, we're shutting down the factory lines. You go eat for 30 minutes. Right. It's, yeah, you have an hour lunch for sure. But you're still going to have, I'm in sales. So you're still going to have customers emailing you shit that you need to get back to. And nobody's pressing you to answer this email. That's on you. And if you don't, you can lose that customer anytime of the fucking day. So essentially what happens is, where was I going with this? Essentially what happens with this was I got so nervous about actually shutting my phone off for an hour. Cause at my work, I just eat at my desk and wait for an email to come. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I'm not fully immersed in an hour lunch at work. I'm at my desk. I'm waiting for some shit to happen. So I got so much anxiety from thinking about actually having my phone down for an hour to do this thing that I canceled. Right. So, but like I said, I'm in desperate straits here, emotionally. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to call this First Choice thing. It might not be the greatest counsel in the world, but it's something to tide me over, a snack before the main course. So I called this thing, and my first green flag was I called them about half an hour before I got here. It's 7:30 p.m. right now. I called them at 7 p.m. and I know they're on the East Coast, so the fact that they were open was nice, right? So woman picks up, And I'm telling her, yeah, I need an appointment for I had an appointment a few months ago. I flaked on it. And I need another one. And she's like, well, is the appointment for, do you think you're a threat to yourself? Do you think this? Like, what is the situation you need to talk about? And buddy, as you can see, this is like my 4th glass of wine since I got out of work. So your nigga was loose. Your nigga was loose. So she like starts listing all these things that people might go to therapy for. Do you want to hurt yourself? Are you having problems at work? Are you having problems with sex? Are you having Are you having problems with family? And I was like, well, here's the situation, and you put it in whatever category you want. So I start telling her all my business. I'm giving her the whole sauce. And I keep telling her, I'm like, I know you're not like an official counselor, so you can like stop me whenever. Like, I know you probably, it's 7:00. You probably about to get off work anyway. Ooh, I hit the mic. But she's like, no, like this information helps. I know I was just tea for her for real. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? She was not there to help me. She was just, and like, it's funny because like I'm giving her the whole sauce of my whole situation. And I could 150,000% tell that like, I could have stopped 2 sentences into my rant. I really could have just been like, okay, here's what's going on. And she could have been like, okay, I'll put you in this category. But your nigga had to get some shit off his chest, bro. So I just kept going and going and going. And it's funny because the more I kept going, the more I think she realized I was also black. Because I knew she was black when she picked up the phone. Like she just had like a black Southern accent. We started chatting. She's from South Carolina. Because I know there's another office for this company in Atlanta. And I was like, are you in Atlanta? She's like, nah, I'm in South Carolina, And we just start shooting the breeze. And then it's funny because she starts putting in her own 2 cents in the situation and not being rude about it. I was just like, this, that, and the third. She was like, yeah, but, this be happening. And I'm like, girl. So shout out to her. She was being, very helpful. I was really getting it off my chest. And she was like, well, based on everything. And I was talking for like 15 minutes straight. And then she was like, well, based on the situation, this is the kind of counselor I could put you with. And I was like, after I started talking about the situation, in my head, I'm thinking, yo, bro, you dumb nigga. You just wasted mad energy to have the same thing happen. Because I know they're not going to have no counselor that's available 9 to 5, like after 5 or on a weekend. And I was like, yeah. I'm sorry to get, I told her, I'm sorry to get that all off on you. But, I have this fear that like, they're not going to even have a counselor that works after 5 or on the weekends because, that's the nature of the biz, bro. Like, I need to get it off my chest, something. And then she goes, let me look. And knowing I'm black, she goes, yeah, let me hook you up with a black woman. We got Lysandra at 10 p.m. on Friday. I was like, girl, what, 10 p.m.? Let me tell you, I'm about to be talking to this therapist. Like, yo, bitch, what you up to? Like, why you jonesing this late?
Where you
why
up?
You jonesing?
Why you up? Where you going? Where we at?
Like, I'm like, let me, first of all, are you sober, bitch? Because ain't no way you just working at 10 p.m. on a Friday. I'm having issues at 10 p.m. on a Friday. That's regular. You working 10 p.m. on a Friday? And you got money if you like a official therapist, so you don't even need to be here. What's your deal? You need something to get off your chest? You got bills hitting you? Let me know. But, yeah, like, shout out to her. So maybe I'll throw up my business on this pod and just talk about I'm not going to do that. But
no.
Yeah, I definitely have just some stuff I need to get off my chest. It's challenging being an adult, man. It's really challenging. Like, how do I put it? It's really interesting being an adult because you have to figure out your own shit, right? Like, when you have,
yep,
like if you live by yourself and you're not necessarily happy or necessarily well, there's nobody to blame but you. You know what I mean? Like if you live with your parents, oh, my fucking mom is a bitch. My fucking brother is annoying. My coworkers are this. But it's like at the end of the day, like you really only have yourself to blame and to work out your own issues. And it's hard for me, man, because there's a version of me that I want to be, and I'm not that version yet, and I'm
Right.
crawling towards them. And I know
Right.
I'm ahead of the curve because there's a lot of niggas who don't even want to be
A different
who don't
version of
even-
themselves.
Yeah, they don't even think that like the nigga I want to be is so within my reach, you know, and it's just like crawling to be that person is so hard. And I know I'm a little ahead of the curve because there's so many people who like can't even quantify that a person like me even exists, much less the person I want to be. But it's difficult out here, but I'm trying my fucking best for sure.
It's really great that you were able to get a therapist that is Black. That's fantastic. You know, it's really I think I don't want to say underrated, but I guess like not talked about enough, and it gets talked about a lot about having, you know, medical professionals that look like you and can relate to you and understand your problems, but like I don't think it can be talked about like too much. It can't be understated, or can't be overstated.
Well, my thing is, I'm 100% down for the Black therapist, but I think, and I'm not like super versed in therapy, but I have had a Black woman therapist before. It was not a good experience, not because of really anything having to do with her race. I just think, well, let me back up. First of all, I think when I spoke to another Black woman a couple of years ago, it was not the suicide hotline. I think that was a quote unquote counselor. And I just, she didn't really fit for me. She was an older Black woman. It was cool to be able to like talk in my own lingo, but, you know, not have to code switch, but like, I don't think she, like, for example, there was a point where I had said something and she was like, oh, well, like, I know you think your life is going to be ruined, but, and I'm like, first of all, I didn't even remotely like use the language that like my life would be ruined. So like, I didn't say this to her, but I was like, it's very weird that you're like trying to make the situation worse than it actually is when I didn't even use that kind of language. Like I'm the one in crisis and I know this is going to ruin my life. This is just something I want to talk about right now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, wait a
so, you know, I mean, and one thing about therapy too, and again, I'm not like super versed in it, but I don't know, to be honest, I feel like I wanted like a young, hip, white therapist. I'm obviously would love to stop at like a Black female therapist first, but I mean, we know how the podcast space is. We know who's dominating the Twitter conversations. It's the Black people having all the fucked up relationship conversations. And, you know, I'm not saying that the Black woman therapist won't be my best option, but I think I'm surrounded by Black women constantly. I'm surrounded by, you know what I mean? I think like
there's no shortage of them around you.
Yeah, you know, I think like a third party perspective from, and I think my issue is going to take more than one individual. So I think like a third party perspective, especially one that is very far away from my lived experience, would probably be more helpful. But again, my real shit is like, I'm just trying to, I think for my situation and where I'm at in my head, I think there is a tangible solution, right? But I think a therapist is going to tell me what the tangible solution is. And the tangible solution is not something I want to do or something I want to hear or something that's easy. But I think, you know, I have to kind of just keep rolling through with a third party perspective, fourth party perspective, fifth party perspective, or second party perspective, whatever, because it's just me having the issue. You know, and just kind of like whenever I'm feeling a certain way, just talk it out. And, you know, sometimes again, like people, that's one of the reasons I'm trying to move back to New York, because, you know, one thing about having lived in a super white area, a super Black area, and a super mixed area in my life, the Black and white areas, they get such an echo chamber. Like a lot of these people suck because they don't get any outside perspectives. And, you know, being in a super Black area and being Black, that's great. And like, you understand why people have certain problems in their Black spaces, but it's just like, if you talk to one Jewish person, your whole mind would flip upside down. You know what I mean? If you talk to one Pakistani that's having the same issue you're having, you would go, holy fuck, bro. Because a lot of my best my best takes on mental health or sex or relationships or money, they don't necessarily come from a black space. They come from a lived experience of having been around different races, different income levels, different languages, different age groups. So I'm taking bits and pieces of everywhere I'm at or everywhere I've been to form new thoughts and make new informed decisions. But I can only make those decisions because I've been around so many different people. But now, like I said, I say all that to say that, like, I hope, I'm rooting for the black woman to be the absolute best option and put me in the right direction and be the best possible person I can talk to. But as someone who got, I would say, like, most of what I'm proud of as a person from living in areas that were Jewish and Chinese and fucking Pakistani and Muslim and, you know, and all this other shit, I'm a little apprehensive. I dead ass told the councilwoman too. I was like, yo, do you have like a mixed, like a, not white, but like a, you got like a black and
like you got some weird, you know, you got something weird in the mix. What you got in that bag? It's
funny because she just laughed it off, but it was funny. After that we started talking about, it's funny because after that it was funny because I asked her, I was like, yo, where do you live? And she was like, oh, I'm in South Carolina. And I was like, I knew you was in the South because I knew they had an office in Atlanta. But I was like, it'd be so funny if I called the Atlanta, because Atlanta is like known as like Black Hollywood, but there's a shitload of white people in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure black people are still the minority in Atlanta, like, or at least in Georgia, maybe not Atlanta, but in Georgia. So I'd be like, it's, you know, I was just out there for my job last year. Like the whole office was white. So I'll be like, it'd be mad funny if I called this Atlanta office and it was a black person who, like, and not just like a black person, but like a black person who, you know, who black person, you know what I mean? So, you know, we're chatting. I'm telling her my issues. Obviously, I'm fucking sauced out of my fucking mind. And I was like, yo, where are you? Is this Atlanta? She's like, no, I'm in South Carolina. I was like, yeah, I knew you was in the South. And I was telling her, like, yo, yeah, it'd be so funny if, like, I was thinking, like, it'd be so funny if I called this hotline and it was Atlanta and a black person. She's like, no, I'm in South Carolina. It's black and it's white. And I was like, yeah, I'm in Detroit. It's all blackity black, black, black. And, you know, sometimes that's amazing. And then other times, not so much. And then she was like, you said you're from New York? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I feel like New York is crazier than Detroit. And I was like, the thing about New York is New York stays a steady 7 all the time, or maybe even a steady 6 all the time, depending on the borough. I feel like Detroit's reputation is a 10. It's actually like a 5 or a 4 constantly, but there are certain times where it's a 12. And I actually disclosed one of those 12 times, because let me tell you about my weekend, bro.
Oh no!
This is why I go the fucking side. I didn't get into the. I was tempted to go into the mix just for the content, but I was like, it might be too dangerous outside, because I started talking to this girl on the fucking thing. I was telling her, I was like, listen, I told her, like, there's some times where it's 11, and one of those times was Saturday, because who played downtown but Sexyy Red and Moneybagg Yo?
Ooh. Oh, it got turned. It got lit. Damn.
Brother, let me tell you. So, cat's out of the bag, people. I'm trying to make some money. So, I've been doing Uber on the weekends, right? My thing right now is, you know, Friday night is when I get my cleaning done, my laundry done. Saturday, Sunday, I'm trying to Uber. It's a pretty good bag around here in Detroit because nobody wants to Uber. That's why I've been holding off on doing it for so long, because everybody, again, Detroit has that 10 out of 10 at all times reputation. And I, you know, like I said, I bought into it before I moved here. I've gotten my car broken into. I've seen fights downtown. I did not think a couple $100 every day, every weekend was going to even be worth it. But it has been a good experience, right? Because the Uber pool is so limited, it doesn't just keep you in Detroit. You might have my shit this weekend mostly was back and forth driving gay white men to the airport. 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. And I do it in the daytime. It's fucking beautiful, G. It's amazing. You know, the skies are clear. It's a beautiful highway. It's a beautiful straightaway. It's lovely, luxurious. But there was a little promotion going on this weekend where they were like, for every like X amount of dollars you do, we'll give you like an extra 25 or something like that. So I'm reaching the end of my night. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you about my last ride of the night. My last ride of the night was, I hit it by accident. And it was like, I was $18 away from this like next level up goal, right? So if I just did this one ride for $18, Uber was giving me 25 for no fucking reason. Now, I ended up clicking the thing and it was a $14 ride that I clicked by accident. But I was just like, you know what? Like, whatever. Like, I'm so tired. I don't even fucking care. I'm not about to sit here and wait for an $18 ride. So I clicked the ride. And like I said, it's dark at this point. It's like 11:30. My shit is like, I like to Uber from like noon to like 8 p.m. Like, the second the sun goes down, I'm out of there. That's why I'm trying to get it in now before the summer. Summer's over. But I clicked this ride and I was just like, fuck it. This will be my last ride of the night. And then I'm looking and I'm like, oh, this guy actually lives like across the street from me. So this is like taking me directly home. So, like I said, I understand living here that that Detroit is not on 10 at all times. But sometimes it do be. So I picked this guy up and I don't go out. I don't know the area super well. So I go to this guy's block. Brother, let me tell you how shook I was, right? I don't remember where this block was. It was just some dark side street in somewhere. And the street didn't look dangerous. Most Detroit streets don't even look super dangerous. But what blew mine was that there's like 10 ripped apart cars on this block. And there's just dudes with fucking LED lights pulling out transmissions, pulling out engines. I'm just like, what is this? Like, because there's no like shop on this block.
Right.
There's just fucking like cars and houses. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So, I got a little something on me. I pull it out just in case, right? I pull up to the dude, hey, Jamal. His name was Jamal, but I was like, Jamal, roll my window down. Roll my window up, Jamal. He's like, yeah. And he hops in the back. Big dude, like 6'2", rusty cornrows. And I don't wanna be like, oh, scary Negro, but it's 11:30. I'm seeing y'all rip apart cars, same year as mine. I don't know what's going on here. It's 11:30. Let me just make sure I'm straight. So I'm driving and I'm like, all right, this is my last ride of the night. Let me make sure it goes well. And you know what? It did go well. I start chatting him up, where you going? Where you from? He's like, yeah, I'm going here. Da, da, da. We start talking about New York and we start talking about how he wants to travel with his kids more. He's been in Detroit his whole life. He works at this, that, and third factory. It was a really beautiful conversation, and I felt really fucking stupid for being shook up about my own fucking people. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Like I see some rusty braids, and I think the worst in a tall tee. I think the worst. I've been in rusty braids in a tall tee. You know what I mean? Like why am I doing that? Yeah. So I drop homie off, and I'm like, you know what? Like that really filled my spirit. We had a really good conversation. He was like, yo, you're a really intelligent young man. I know you're gonna get everything you want in life. Like, it's not a lot of cats in Detroit like you. Like, he was dead gassing me. He might have been high because he did smell like marijuana. But, which, by the way, wash your fucking ass before you get in somebody's Uber, bro. Like, we can always smell you. If you had fucking chicken 10 minutes before, I could smell you. If you had fucking... And I got a bad sense of smell to begin with. I've been smoking for 20 years. My sense of smell sucks. But if you done drank something, I could smell you. If you done ate something, I could smell you. Like, just... Don't come out of your house into the Uber. Like, stand on your porch and spin real quick. You know what I mean? Get the wind on you. Change your shirt real quick. Like, if you know you was eating catfish 6 minutes ago.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Like, if you was making catfish in the house and then called the Uber, I know you just don't feel... Thank God I got seat covers. But,
good move.
Yeah, he was lit up and he was just gassing me up. Like, yo, bro, you sound so intelligent. I'm telling him my life story, how I ended up in Detroit. He's like, yo, your life... It's crazy. You move around crazy. Like, but I feel like I said, you're going to get everything you want in life, brother. You very intelligent. You this, that, and third. I dropped man's off right up the street. I can almost see his apartment from here, actually. And I was like, damn, that really filled my spirit. that really hyped me up. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like I thought I was gonna have to do something to something. Turns out this nigga's talking about I'm the greatest nigga on earth. And I'm just like, damn, like I felt bad for assuming. I felt uplifted by his messages and his words. I felt in solidarity with my black brothers and sisters. I was like, you know what? I'm looking at the thing, and like I said, I needed an $18 ride to get the extra 25, and this was a 14 something. So the app is like, yo, bro, $3, $3.72, all $3.70. That's all you need, G. Any ride, and here's the thing: you don't really get a lot of short rides. You get like Detroit, Michigan in general is a driver's state, so you don't really get a lot of like we're going 6 blocks, and I don't even like taking the little rides. I like taking the long joints. Because in between you still gotta wait for other rides. So why am I gonna sit and sift? Like if I take one $8 ride and one $6 ride and one $4 ride, but I had to wait for all of those, that's less than a $30 ride. If I take one $30 ride, especially if it's to the airport, because there's nothing up there by airport. There's gonna be somebody who wants to come back.
Right.
So, I'm like, $3 ride. It's fucking hot out. Like it's midnight on Sunday night. Like this might be a 2 second. If I got a $3 ride, it'll be 2 seconds. But I was like, damn, I'm running low on gas. Let me just get gas first. Bro, I tried to pull into this gas station right over here, right by my fucking crib. Traffic every which way, back to back. First of all, like I said, I have been driving to and from the airport all day, throughout the suburbs and back to the suburbs, throughout the suburbs and back to the suburbs, all fucking day. The most city it got, if Detroit people are listening to this, is Ferndale. So nothing too crazy. Like if you know what Ferndale is, Ferndale's the gayborhood. Like it's basically the suburbs, but they're throwing gay bars in there, and there's rainbow flags everywhere. It's a vibe. I've been to the gay bar. Shout out to Soho Bar. And that bald white guy who was trying to suck my dick when I first moved here. Shout out to him. But like I say, I'm seeing this little cross street over here, Jefferson. Cars backed up on both sides, wall to wall, police sirens everywhere. I pull into the gas station after like 6 minutes of sitting at this light because it's so backed up. Ugh. I pull into this fucking gas station, G. There's like 26 cars in the gas station. Ugh. None of them at a pump. None of them in the parking spots. They're just crisscross left and right. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. Bitch gets out her. I park because, again, nobody's in the parking spot, so I just pull into a parking spot. I see a bitch twerking on the hood of her car. Hellcats, SRTs, come fuck with me. I'm just like, and then that's when I remembered that Moneybag, and because like again, I've been in the suburbs all day. I forgot what's going on in the city, and I knew Afro Nation was going on, which was another event. Like it was like a Afro Nation thing, Nigerian shit, Caribbean shit. Like I actually wanted to go to that myself, but have to take the path less traveled to get to the place. Yeah, to get to the places people can't reach. So I skipped that to do the Uber thing. I remembered that because I was lamenting not going, but I forgot about Moneybag and Sexyy Red. And like I said, girls twerking on her shit, 39 million inch bust down, swaying in the wind. Of course it was pink. Fucking a chain of some gang that she definitely got a train ran on to get in. I parked my car. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not getting fucking gas, but let me get some water. So I go in there, get some water, and line is 7 niggas long. All got shiesties on. It's fucking August. Why the fuck y'all all got shiesties on? Crazy. I know your lip smells disgusting, bro. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I know, and like I said, weed is very legal in Michigan. So like, if you just smoke the blunt and then put a shiesty on, your breath got to be extra wicked, bro. That's not to play with. You fucking ghastly, nigga. You wheezing, fucking coughing, fucking
coughing.
Big Pokemon out here, first gen.
Gas type for real.
So I get this water. I come out the store. There's 3 niggas sitting in front of my car. One of them's like about to sit on my hood. I'm like, yo! And then he just pops up. He's like, oh, my fault, G, my fault. I'm just like, how the fuck you even think? And keep in mind, like, they're talking to a nigga. So I'm parked in a parking spot. There's another like white Escalade next to me, and they're talking to the nigga like in the driver's seat of the white Escalade, and his car is empty. How the fuck you was about to sit on my whip, my Honda Civic, when this nigga got 4, 5, 6 empty? It's a S. Like, it wasn't a 2-door. G. I was so heated. I was so like, and like these niggas obviously they're fucking, you know, looking like Lucky with the skinny jeans and the fucking chain and the shape up and a fucking like Amiri crew neck. Again, fucking August. Why the fuck are you wearing a crew neck? But because this is your one piece. This is your one piece.
The one time they get I can pop out. I got that Amiri. There's actually an Amiri crew neck that I've been eyeing. I'm only gonna eye it because I can't afford to do anything else.
I mean, you're a New Yorker. If you want to get an Amiri crew neck, you're valid for the. Once October hits, you're valid for 9 months to wear the crew neck.
That's a fact.
This nigga, like, it was August and packed outside. Like, there was so many bodies outside. And here's the thing. This is Michigan. Like, Michigan has like 3 solid weeks of winter, and the rest is more spring. It rains a lot. It's breezy a lot. You might get away with a thin, like, Goodfellow Target long sleeve. You might get away with it on some 60-degree, you know, July day. But the thick ass fuzzy Amiri crew neck in August when Sexyy Red is playing, you know she's setting the city on fire. G, what the fuck is your problem? Like,
accurate.
And you know what's fucked up too? He had big ass arms. So you're gonna look good in a t-shirt, G, because you got the arms to pull it off. But I know, like, my whole wardrobe is short sleeves because the bicep peak's crazy. Like, you just don't, this shit got me sick. But like I said, I go, hey, yo, and like he hops up, he's like, oh, my ball, G. Like, so his ass is like if he would have farted on, like, if he didn't hit my hood, but if he would have farted on it, he could have dented. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was that close. So thank fucking God his legs held up while I was on the fucking line with the ski mask niggas, bro. But, yeah, so I got in my car. It dead ass took me like 9 full minutes just to like pull out of the gas station and get onto the road. Cause the gas station is on the right side of the road and my house is on the left side. Like, I gotta go to the left side and then hit that light, make a right, and then hit another light, make a left, another right, and a right. It's like if I hit all the lights, it's like a 30-second drive. But like I said, because of all these cars not at pumps and not in the parking spot, I had to weave through them. Then I had to wait at the exit to get to the middle lane so that I can get to the left lane. That shit was a whole ordeal. As I'm sitting there, like 15 cars in front of me, police lights on this side, police lights on this side. I'm like, all right, go offline on Uber because I'm not getting those last $3. I'm not about to be out here. And then it's funny because I finally get in the left lane, it's the right lane if you're driving, but it's like the left, it's like whatever, the right lane.
You need to make the left. Yeah.
I'm getting in the right lane and I'm thinking this is it. And then I get stopped right at the light. So I'm like, all right, I'm at the light, whatever, cool. So I'm at the light. I'm one car behind the light. So like this car is going straight. I got to go right. So I'm like, damn, like I wish if I would have been one more car, I could have just made my right. So I put my right turn signal on. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to, you know, at first the energy was in me to do that last ride from this dude talking me up. But after like, again, 10 minutes almost to get 50 feet, it sucked it out of me. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, whatever, I guess this is my night. And I looked at the Uber app. I was like, you know, pretty good day. A lot of tips, you know what I mean? A lot of good conversations. I'm like, you know what? Like, take whatever. 25 bash ain't shit. But I look to my left and I see two girls. Again, the fucking bust downs, whatever. They're in some kind of truck. And I see them bitches pull out 2 little bottles of Casamigos and cheers and do a shot. One of them's driving, G. She's the driver at the light. Keep in mind, it's 11:30. I know the concert not even still going on. Like, you just got out of the concert and now not even, either you, I don't know what time the show started. I think there's a flyer for it down the street from me, but I think it like started at like 8. So maybe there was a bunch of like openers. I think like Ari the Don and like a handful of other people. But like, it was either the concert was over and now you're getting more lit for the afters, or the concert was still like the headliners hadn't played and you're just like starting to turn up at 11:30. Either one is nuts, bro. Either one is nutty. Like,
yes,
go like to take a shot while driving.
That's
just
monstrous.
Park first. Just park first. There's never. Let me tell you something. I have been irresponsible. I have been reckless. I have been stupid. I have been insane in my life. I never thought to pop open a little miniature bottle. And here's the thing too, like, it was the little miniature bottle. You know what I mean? Like, if it was like somebody in the back, because I've seen this happen. I wasn't a part of it, but I've seen this happen. Where you get 4 niggas in a car, right? You get one with a bottle. He opens the bottle, pours a couple little cups, inconspicuous cups or water bottles for the niggas in the car. So he's like I say, if you're watching the video, he's down here. You can't see his arms. He's behind the passenger. He's very careful. He's pouring this fucking shit by his feet. And then he's handing it out to people who are in the whip in inconspicuous containers. Water bottles, a clear cup, not a red cup, because that red Solo sets off flags, but just inconspicuous containers to give out to people to drink on this ride, right? That I've seen in my younger years, right? But for these bitches to have tiny little Casamigos bottles that are sealed and say Casamigos on them, and to just crack, like if and there was a cop, like, so if we're at the light on the left side of the road facing us, there was a cop like 6 cars ahead. If this cop just had his glasses on, just like he would have saw it. We all know what the golden and teal label looks like. We all know what the fuck that is. Fuck even the colors. We know what the nigga, like, they don't put juice in them tiny bottles. This is not those Gushers things from back in the day. Like, we know what size those bottles. Like, you could have like lost your license right there. Insane. But like that was a night that Detroit was on 11.
She would have went straight to jail. Like,
straight to it.
Like, I'm crazy? Witnessing you commit the crime. I'm watching you do it.
Dude, it's so crazy because like I feel like such an old man when I bitch about the way Detroit people drive. But like, obviously you can tell by the insurance rates here that I'm not in the wrong. And Ubering, bro, I drive very defensively Ubering. Like, car in front of me, 20 feet away. I'm not getting closer than 20 feet to you. Like, the way people whip around out here. And dude, it's funny. On that last ride, the guy, like I said, he lives across the street is like an exaggeration a little bit, but like I can see his building from here, right? So if you go out my building, make a right out, and then make a left, and then make another right, and then make a left down this. No. Go right out, then make a left, go straight down. Like, that's his building. On that path, from my building to his, bro, there was a car, no lights, nobody by it, smashed into a tree. That was a street nobody was on. So this is this right here, I think this is Orleans Street. So he's going down Orleans. No, there wasn't no party crazy shit on Orleans. The street over is like the busier street, Jefferson. That's where niggas was going crazy. But nobody was on Orleans. So, or is this Lafayette or Orleans? Niggas know where I live. You can figure it out if you're local. But Lafayette Towers, holler at me. But like I said, if you drive down the street, there was nobody on that street. And I remember going, he's talking to me, and I go, what the fuck? There was a car crashed into that fucking tree. He's like, this thing was definitely high as hell. He's like, yo, bro, I missed that. And like, yeah, obviously missed it. Like, like, there was no lights on it. The one street light, like, above it was like out. And I was just like, this is insane, bro.
He didn't miss that. He knew it was there. That was his car.
Might have been why he's Ubering.
That's why he was in your Uber. It was an insurance scheme. Or it's just the apocalypse down there.
I don't think you could even get away with that with the insurance here. The insurance here is expensive and trash. Which, by the way, people, while we're talking all this therapy crap, all this Uber crap, quick tip for you. Always, every time your policy is about to expire, shop around. Don't just, there's no reason to be faithful to Geico, Progressive, State Farm, Farmers, none of that shit. Every time your policy is about to expire, first of all, make sure you check your coverages, right? Especially based on your situation. So, you know, if you lose your job, whatever, don't have a 500 or, you know, or if you lose your job, but you now have to drive more because you lost your job, yeah, hiking up your insurance a little bit to have like a $200 deductible might hurt you, but like check, because sometimes, you know, sometimes the policies go crazy. Like your deductible for collision might be $5,000 and you're thinking, oh, well, that's so cheap, like it doesn't matter. But if you up it up to $200, it raises your insurance $10. Sometimes. That's not always the case at all. Right. But sometimes it might be if you're not checking. Also, when your shit's about to expire, again, shop around Geico, shop around Progressive. Like, if you got to change insurance every 6 months, I guarantee you that shit's going to save you fucking money, because I tried to stay loyal to Geico. Geico wanted like 430 out of me. Then State Farm wanted 560 out of me. Farmers wanted 460. And then Progressive was like, oh, we got you for 190. And
that's
then
insane.
Yeah, and then I added like rideshare insurance, and it was like $210. So
that's crazy.
Which is still like more expensive than I want to be paying, but like the fact that like these niggas were just making up numbers is nutty. And the thing is, like, I've had Geico, and you know, I was loyal to Geico for like the entire time I've had a car, I've been loyal to Geico. So the fact that they were like, oh, it's gonna be like, because the first time I asked, they were like, oh, it's $700. And that was like 2 years ago when I first moved here. And I was like, $700? Are you fucking high? And then I paid off my car, and they were like, oh, well, we can bump it down to $5. And I'm like, that's not helping, G.
That's really incredible. Like, $700 a month car insurance, bro. It's a fucking BMW.
She doesn't pay, but between her payment and her insurance, her shit is $700. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? And the thing with her too is like, she's so pragmatic that she forgets to be smart. Like, she's like, well, the market rate for car payments and car insurance would be about $700. I was like, okay, but you make a lot of money, meaning you could have bought something used outright. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't need to be paying this.
Payments are for niggas who don't have money. You have money. You could have bought something for 10 grand and been done. Instead, you bought something for 30 that you're not going to be done with for 4 years.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I don't want no hoopty. And I was just like, all right, now you're getting niggerish right here. Because 10 bands is not a hoopty, bro. Like, you could have got...
no, not at all.
You could have got like a 2015 Honda Civic with like probably 50,000 miles for 10 grand. Maybe 12.
Yeah.
And that would have had no problems for years and still been nice. You could have bought it for 10, 12, spent another 2 to get like the dash replaced if you want to really go crazy and like freak out the interior. I'm personally a nigga. I think the interior and the body, the reliability. I do not care about the label. I don't care about Beamer. I don't care about Bentley. I don't care about fucking BMW. I actually was under the impression that all 3 of those were the same company that were just under different names. I still don't know if that's not true. Beamer, Benz, what's that rap song? Beamer, Benz, a Bentley. Beamer, Benz, a Bentley. I thought those were the same car. Because I thought it was BMW was the company. Mm-hmm. And then I thought Benz and
was
Bentley
the car.
Were just street names.
Oh,
no, I just thought they were like street names for niggas that didn't want to, like, because BMW didn't sound cool. And then I found out, like, no, it's BMW, and then there's Mercedes-Benz, and then I don't even know what Bentley is.
Bentley's Bentley. They're a really old car company.
See, yeah, I didn't know that. So I like the body of my Honda Civic. I like the reliability of my Honda Civic, and I like the
interior.
My dash could be better, but that's because I didn't shoot for like the super upgraded dash because I'm an idiot. But although the dash of the Accord, fire. See, Bentley's a company because I just googled Bentley just to see that there's a Bentley Continental. There's other. So Bentley is the make, not the model. Okay.
Yes.
See,
yeah.
I didn't even know that shit. Didn't even know. You know what's funny? I love when I get on my cocky nigga shit sometimes because I lately haven't been feeling on my cocky nigga shit. I've been feeling very down about myself. But
I'm sorry.
I did have a moment of cocky nigga shit the one day because my coworkers were talking about like, what's your dream car? And these niggas are saying Beamer, Benz, and Bentley, Beamer, Benz, and Bentley. And I was like, Honda Civic. And somebody goes, oh, oh, come on. Like, even if you got like a free car, you would take a Honda Civic. I was like, if the option was a free car, I would take like a free Bentley, but I would sell it. And then what's a Bentley go for? Like a Bentley GT Coupe, whatever, because that's the only model I know. If that goes for $90,000, I would sell it, buy a brand new Honda Civic. No, I would buy a Honda Civic with like 20,000 miles on it, like a 2020 Honda Civic. I would buy that, and then I would use the rest to like
pocket the rest of the money.
And he was like, and then I remember this kid, he goes, okay, but like, you don't think that feeling of like, you know, pulling up in a fucking Bentley, doing something that's priceless? I was like, and this is the cockiest shit I'll ever, this is easily the cockiest shit I'll ever say in my life. I said to this nigga, I said, brother, that feeling of pulling up in a Bentley is what I feel like all the time.
Ooh, that's a bar. No, that's a bar. That's a bar. That is a fucking bar.
It was hard too, because this was a dude who he got fired, but he was like 20. He was like 25. He was white, and he was shredded out of his mind. Like, he had a way better physique than me. So, but he was like one of those like red pill kids. Like, he was on that red pill shit. Yeah. So like, he, you know, he's listening to fucking Fresh and Fit, thinking like, I gotta have the 6-pack and the Bentley, and I'm like, I already feel like a Bentley, nigga, and I make, you know how much money I make, G. Like, you know it ain't shit. That's crazy too. I dead ass told the girl on the phone for the counseling shit how much money I make. I mean, because I told her, not without giving out like too much like information about my situation, but I told her, I was like, here's my shit, bitch. Nah, I say bitch, but if I did say bitch, it was awesome, like, bitch,
yeah, sis.
Nah, I did, like, I'm not gonna get into too much information, but I was just like, if I had XYZ amount of dollars, like, this wouldn't even be an issue. But because going from this amount of dollars that I have to this amount of dollars that would change the shit might not even be possible, but like, even if it is possible, it's going to be a very long process. I need somebody to talk to while I get to it. Because I know a therapist is going to tell me, well, if you had this much, and I'm going to be like, well, nigga, I know that. Right. But I don't got that much. Right. So unless you putting up the G's, you better fucking start listening to me chat.
It's like, let's start there. I am broke. All right, let's take this shit off the table.
Yeah. You know what I hate too? It's so funny because I got this tattoo. It says 666 on my thighs. And it's 666 in slot machine font. And the reason I got it was because, you know, obviously, well, okay, first of all, I don't want to get too deep at tattoos, but like 6 is one of my favorite numbers. I was born in June. I moved to Queens in 6th grade. I was on the 6th floor of my building, and, you know, fucking the devil rocks, dude. So, you know, I always really loved the number 6. Like, whenever I see the number 6 in plentiful, I know something's good gonna happen. But I was like, you know what? I don't actually know what the demon numbers mean, right? And it's something to do with Julius Caesar. I don't really know. But what I found out in the angelic numbers was that like 666 means like material possessions aren't everything. They aren't what's gonna make or break you. Like, live in the moment. You're valuable no matter what monetary state you're at. And I was like, wow, like that was a message like I really needed to hear. Excuse me. A message I really needed to hear when I looked this up. And I think I talked about this 2 pods ago, but it's so funny because like, whereas I have absorbed that message from this 666 and I have let go of my value being money, there are certain situations that would just be better. If I had fucking, you know what I mean? There's like a situation I'm in right now where it's like, if I just had X amount of dollars, I wouldn't have to worry about this fucking shit.
Not be an issue for me at all.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I know my value isn't money, but if I had this much money to do this thing, this issue is not existent. And it's like, I know my value isn't money, but money is valuable. Damn. That's
a bar. That my value isn't money, but money is valuable. It sure is. It sure is.
Yeah, it just gives you a lot of options, a lot of choices, and you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah. But I've been fucking on a fucking tirade because of this fucking wine. And how are you, Joe? I know I've been mostly talking for the last hour.
That's cool, man. I love to listen. No, I love to listen. I've been good, man. Is what I will tell the podcast audience. You know, life be lifing, man. Stuff is rough, but we keep going until we can't anymore. One foot in front of the other, brother. But I've been working on some music. I've been trying to get like a live set together because I want to start doing some shows.
Like some DJing shits?
Kind of like beat shows. They're producer shows where niggas just play beats. And it's mad nice. It's way better than rap shows because rappers always got to have like tough guy egos and shit. And, you know.
You know what I've been meaning to ask you? And I think you may have answered this already, but I think I've just gotten more insight on the question. I'm pretty sure I've asked you before why you're not a DJ. And I think you have like said that that's not your thing. That's not, you don't want to mix for a party. You want to make beats. I think is that correct? Somewhat,
yeah. I kind of do want to be a DJ now, though, which is funny.
Well, yeah, it's funny because, you know, when you said that, I was like, oh, that's valid. But, you know, Detroit being like a techno city and just a DJ city in general, I've come to learn that most DJs are actually exactly like you. They never wanted to, like some want to like, they want to make the party move and do that. But some are just like, yeah, I like making beats, but I also like, I don't want to have to get a regular job to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want to play these beats all night. Yeah, I want to be up all night in the club. I want to play this music. I'll throw my beat in here and there, but like, and also like it gets them in. Because I had some guy tell me, he was like, yeah, you know, like I'm a DJ not because I like DJing, but because like you move around in nightclub spaces, you're going to meet more creatives. Like he's like, yeah, I can get a job at Chrysler tomorrow and make $40 an hour or whatever the fuck they're paying, but like I'm gonna be around Chrysler niggas 50 hours a week.
Yeah,
that's not gonna help me grow. It's not gonna help me move. So he's like, I DJ because I might make he's like, there's some nights where I'll make twice what a Chrysler nigga makes in a week. There's some weeks where I'll make nothing, but at least I'm still in those spaces. I'm still getting around creatives. I'm still moving and shaking. And worst case scenario, at least I'm getting bitches because I'm out all night. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's a random dude in my Uber, but shout out to that guy. Because I brought you up to him because I was like, oh, what do you do, man? He's like, I'm a DJ. And I'm like, you like it? Because my boy Thrillah. He's like, yeah, most DJs. He told me, he's like, yeah, I brought up you and that thing you said. He was like, yeah, most DJs are that. He's like, some DJs want to party and some DJs just want to like make music, and some DJs are just like, I don't want to party, but I do want to make music and I want to be surrounded by people who like music. So
yeah. It's interesting. I feel like, you know, I originally, long time before I started making beats, wanted to DJ, and then opportunity like escaped me, and then there was another small opportunity. I got some like computer program thing and a little like DJ deck, but like didn't have a computer that worked with it. We had a Windows 95 and needed a 98. It was the year 2000. Shit was bad. So escaped me then. But I feel like I started producing and getting into tons of different genres of music that now I know the stuff that I would want to play as a DJ. Which is a lot related to a lot of the beat show stuff that I want to do. But it's kind of like how we were talking about recently, Drake being at some club he was DJing at. And it's kind of like, you know, you become a person who has a curated taste. And I feel like I've finally gotten to a place where my taste has been curated to the point where I can now say these are the kind of things I want to play. Aside from the utilitarian aspect of being a DJ, as in like, you know, playing for clubs to get paid, or being the person live on stage pressing play for the beat for the rapper, that is something else I have to do, but unrelated to the other shit. But not so much. But yeah, it's actually. I totally get what that guy was saying. I knew I wasn't alone in that, because a lot of music, a lot of musicians or people in the music industry end up doing things not because it's like what they wanted to do, but by necessity, and then it kind of just becomes their things. Like lots of managers, lots of marketers are like, you know, yeah, my man rapped, I rapped, and we needed a way to figure out how to promote. So I learned how to do that, and now I have an agency, you know, that does ads and shit like that. Or a lot of people are like, yeah, man, my homie rapped, we needed to figure out a way to record it. I figured it out, and lots of shit like that. But I do wish that I had the opportunity and time and all of the things in the right place that I could just go out right now and make money DJing, because that'd be dope. Because that would be fun. But that would be there's some serious barriers to entry for me for that.
Get a fucking credit card and freak it, dog.
Nigga, I did that so many times. I can't do it no more. I can't do that shit no more.
What's your credit score for the podcast?
Nah, cuz I'm good. I actually, my credit score is probably actually not in the worst place, but I actively don't look at it as I'm like paying. Like I've got like a financial plan that's like, I'm paying off my debt. I'm doing this month, like, so I'm like not looking at it to deter me from, looking at not making progress. But it's been better. It has been better.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. Like, one of my things is like, obviously in like the financial space, it's very obvious that you should pay off your debt before you put into your savings. That's like the golden rule, because obviously debt comes with interest. Yeah. But I be seeing the interest payments on some shit I got, and I'm like, okay, but like this 145 in interest, I could pay that. That's not gonna kill me. But like, if I have some shit go down, I need this $5,000 in my savings.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. I mean? Yeah. Like, I need. It's funny that you say that, because I know there is a financial philosophy that is the opposite of that, at least in terms of like, at least one pillar of it is having an emergency fund. It's like, you don't pay the minimums until you get this amount in case of an emergency. And then after that, then you can figure out paying your shit down. But it's like, don't do anything without having this amount to start with, which is so crazy, because I just grew up understanding that like you just lived life check to check. I couldn't even fucking fathom. Like, at one point I was like, okay, I want to be a graffiti writer for a living, right? So they probably get paid like $200 to do a piece on the wall for a store. So I just got to do like 10 of those shits a week, right? There's enough stores. I was like, how does life work? This doesn't make any fucking sense, bro.
Nigga thought he was going to be a muralist for the entire city, day in and day out, every day.
9 to 5. Catch me on the street, writing my name.
Nigga said, oh yeah, I'll make one mural in 6 hours plus lunch every day. That's fine.
Every day.
That'll be my living.
Yeah, no problem, bro. $1,000 a week. What you mean?
Exactly. And I'll just never run out of city to do that in, and I'll never run out of supplies. The city's going to buy the supplies too. Yeah, they're going to buy the supplies.
Yeah, they're going to pay for it. Yeah.
They're going to pay for everything. I'm going to, food? Yeah, no, that's paid for by the city. All the walking I'm going to be doing to paint all these murals.
Yeah.
Oh, and like, yeah, of course, muralists get all this kinds of insurance. Yeah.
A ton of it, yeah.
They'll be on ladders. No insurance. They're on a ladder fucking 8 hours a day. Yeah. For $200. Yeah.
See how ill prepared for the world high school made me? Just another testament to the public school education system. I know they mean well, but no, they don't. I was over here thinking, yeah, I just gotta paint for a living. Then maybe I'll do tattoos. Then I was like, nigga, you can't draw. You can't draw. What are you doing? Yeah.
You know what was fucking nuts, bro? My fucking mother is fucking a nuts ass bitch, bro. So I got kicked out, everybody knows, when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I was homeless. Like, I'm dumb. I'm a product of New York City public school. I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm just bouncing around, house hopping, whatever. And I remember my mom called me. I don't know if it was my mom or my aunt, but again, this is like 2005. I don't fucking remember. But I just remember she called me, one of them, and was like, instead of like offering to like help me out or like get me back in the house or whatever, she's like, oh, well, maybe you could be a tattoo artist for a living. Like, first, this is my mom is a normal ass bitch. First of all, okay, let's outline this. Apprenticeships cost money. I have been homeless for like 6 months at this point. So where do you think that's coming from? Secondly, bitch, I have not picked up a pencil because I don't know where my next meal is fucking coming from. She's like, oh, you used to draw. Like, you could be a tattoo artist, right? And like, that was her piece. Like, are you fucking kidding me, bitch? Like, maybe you could draw. Oh, I get, whatever. Bye. God, I want to push that woman off a cliff so bad.
That is incredible.
Thinking it's just like funny, like, I've forgiven my mom and like not moved through life with anger against her, but sometimes I think about like some of the dumbass shit she did when I was a kid, and I'm just like, why is she still alive? What is?
How did you make it?
Like, what have you done for the world? Like, you know what's funny,
crazy.
bro? I remember like 2 years ago, she asked my brother for my number to reach out, and what she does is every like 5 or 6 years, she has like a mortality crisis, and she reaches out because she wants to mend things. My theory is that she thinks she's dying, and she's in very poor health, so I think that's founded. But I think she gets in bouts of like very poor health. She's had a bunch of strokes, and she's got like a rare spleen disease or whatever. And I think she gets in these bouts of where she like doesn't, she really faces her mortality. And what does she do? She reaches out to me because she wants to mend things with her son. She wants to have her granddaughter in her life before she passes. And it's so funny because each and every time she'll go, the first time she found me on Facebook. And the second time, obviously years later, she asked my brother for my number. But shit's so funny because each time she like played this like victim role of like, I had no idea where to find you. And I'm just like, when you kicked me out, you did still pay for my phone for like 2 years, 3 years. That's one. You found me on Facebook 3 or 4 years after I had one. Bitch, you gave me my name. You could have searched that shit up anytime in the last 3 or 4 years. And then the third time
have
she reached
my
out,
birth certificate. You have my original birth certificate.
Actually, do I? No, I gotta replicate. Yeah, she got the original.
Oh.
She might have thrown it out. But and then it's funny because the third time my brother reaches out to ask me if I can give her my number, and I'm like, sure, but I don't know what the fuck she's asking. Like, she has the same phone number. I know her phone number, 917-226-5319. If anyone wants to prank her, I'll say that one more time, 917-226-5319. But she used to make me call her every day after I got out of school. And shout out to the liquor. But I remember the third time, like I said, she asked my brother for my number, and I guess played this sob story up to him about like, I just don't know where to contact him, right? And again, she has me on Facebook. She knows my full name. But then what was hilarious was like 2 days ago, I was talking about my cousin, and I was talking about my cousin with my girl, and I went to go show a picture of my cousin to my girl, right? And I went through my cousin's friends, and my mom is like the third person down if you go to my cousin's friends, and she follows me. So I'm like, bitch, what the
She's lurking.
You playing this game like you don't know where the fuck to find me, bitch. You got me on social media all the time. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't forgive you, but like, damn it, a nigga could never forget you because you just, you are so, like, I can't forget some dumb shit like that, bro. This shit is just honestly hilarious.
Yeah, man.
But I'm sure the therapist, Lashana, will hear all of this on Friday at 10 p.m. Shout out to her. You have any piece to say before we get out of here, Joseph?
Nah, man. Nah. No. We can end on that note. Yeah, I fuck with that.
And if any of y'all decide to prank call my mom, please do not mention my name. Or you know what? Say Sasha. Damn, she won't fucking know that shit.
She won't. She won't know that. She won't know that.
But shout out to y'all. Yeah, this has been the National Meat Treasure. We drop episodes every Thursday. Kat, we're not making no money off this shit. So again, TROPJ if you want to cash at me. I'm also TROPJ on Venmo. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at thin.cruel.lips. And on fuck it, so I just talked about Facebook. It is, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not gonna give my government name on this podcast. We're not gonna do that because I literally have an internet alias for a reason, so we're gonna leave it there.
Yep.
But if you do find my Facebook, it's not very active, but send me money. I don't know. And follow the pod at National Meat Treasure on TikTok and Instagram, and at NMT Pod on Facebookery. And don't think your Facebook shit doesn't count. You know, like I said, a friend of mine just got monetized on Facebook. And actually, fun fact, Facebook pays way more than any platform right now. So if you want to just go through and spam like us, again, at NMT Pod, feel free to do that. Spam, like, spam, share. I know most of y'all don't even care about your Facebooks. Just fucking shoot it out.
Yo,
let it
for
go,
real.
let it happen.
For real. Just repost that shit. Share it as your status. Type a comment.
Put our logo in your fucking cover photo.
It's, yeah, you know, it's only like, you know, your annoying racist family and the dumb friends who, you know, can't navigate Instagram, or the ones who...
Yeah, the drug addicts.
Yeah, damn, yeah. Follow me at Saint Thriller on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me at Saint Thriller on Apple Music. Yo, follow 303 BAM on Bandcamp. We're going to be on Bandcamp real soon. You're going to be able to get exclusives from Bandcamp. We're going to be able to, you know, get you some real cool shit. Unavailable shit.
Is that wise? Do niggas still use Bandcamp? I was unaware that was still a platform that was alive. Oh,
yeah. It is. Yo, it was actually crazy at these beat shows. Shout out to Donut Lounge. I've been going to this show called Donut Lounge, which is a producer show. And they, you know, it's just a bunch of producers like playing beats on their SP404s or the MPCs. And all of those independent creators that I'm meeting, none of their links are to streaming platforms. They're all to Bandcamp, because at Bandcamp, which is still around, you are monetizing your product, selling it, you know, like hand to hand for full price, you know, where someone's going to buy your album for $10 instead of stream. Like, they could buy your album one time for $10 and never listen to it, or they could stream your shit a million times and you never get a penny from it. Like, and then you give people exclusives. Like, you get a real community with that artist. And there are a lot of musicians and artists who are on there still. And it's like, if you're an artist and you're not on there, you're just missing out on money. Because the niggas that support you will go there and buy your shit and stream it anyway.
Yeah, so shout out to Bandcamp. Shout out to Pure Volume. What a throwback.
Shout out to purevolume.com.
That's not even up anymore. I went there
it's not
6 months ago.
Some different.
Damn. What a time that was. That's where I discovered fucking so many fucking emo bands. Now it's just like, I don't know why like they have these platforms that they just like, they're like fate, like it's like how Facebook looks now. It's just like a bunch of like a news template. Anyway. Well, if it only takes them $8 a month to preserve that shit for somebody else to buy it, I guess it's a good investment, or it's not hurting anybody. But yeah, add me on Pure Volume. Shit, just kidding. Anyway, this has been the National Meat Treasure. Peace.